buckle up, because it's gonna be a long ride. It's gonna be a wild ride. Nobody cares, but we're gonna tell you anyways. This is Popcorn Chats.
You know what's crazy is when I move away, we're gonna have to start doing our clap again.
I know. Bring back the clap.
Bring back the clap. And not that
2022.
kind of clap. Not the STD. The spiky. Spiky. I think it's here.
Motherfucker. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Popcorn Chats. I'm Angry.
I'm Katie.
And today, we're covering... You can't even fucking hear me. I'm too far away from the goddamn microphone. Sorry, Josie. You gotta move. Covering season 2, episode 4 of Euphoria.
Yes. Actually, I feel like it was low-key my turn to intro, but who cares?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't need to check in. Do you need to check in at all?
Run it. No, I'll just maybe say a tidbit that I related to Cassie in this episode.
Oh my god. She had it rough. That's a
Did
fact.
you see that tweet that was like, how do you go from this to this? And it was like her when she first walked out in that pink bathing suit, and then her like walking up the stairs like all red in the face and crying. And somebody quote tweeted it. It was like, it's so easy. And I was like, re-fucking tweet, because I looked so good at the beginning of my going away party on Saturday night. By the end, babe, puke in the hair. That's all I gotta say. Thank you and good night.
It was a smelly car ride.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
We don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, mostly because I'm just hungry and now, like, I'm anxious. I wasted a fucking hour of my day and, like, I feel like I don't even have enough hours in the day to begin with. And that's an hour I could have been at home with my cats, so.
Yeah, Walgreens, this is your tape.
It is your fucking tape. I'm trying to get my mental health medication and you are a part of my mental health problems.
What a crisis. Oh, one more thing. I'm so sorry, but I would just like to say, fuck Anchor. They pulled our sponsorship. If you like this podcast, please donate to us. You can do that by going to the listener support tab on Anchor, either on the website or somewhere. I guess I retract that statement. I don't hate Anchor, but it's like they pulled our ad, okay? And these episodes with Euphoria are doing very well, so we appreciate you guys for tuning in every week and keeping up with us. But they pulled it, and now we're not making any money on the podcast anymore. We're almost monetized on YouTube, so hopefully things will get better there. But if you guys want to support us, you can do that by going to the listener support tab and donating to the cause, because we're broke girlies, and the timing of that was really just a big old slap in the face.
Rude. Opening. We have another episode that's not focused on a character specifically. Love it.
I do too. I was thinking about this today, that like the first episode was about Fez. I'm glad we had that, but I just feel like disorganized. Like it's not satisfying to me. Like it feels a little messy, but it's fine. Like I'm glad we had the Fez episode, and I'm glad that the episodes are going the way they are, except for the unmentionable episode 2. We don't have to.
That was a botched episode. I don't know what was wrong with them that day. They had a day like I had today, and we're just like, fuck it.
They chose violence with that episode, but it's in the past. Moving on.
The opening scene with Rue and Jules while they are in the midst of sexual activities, and Rue's mind is like wandering. And I loved how like we're in Rue's mind and we're seeing all of these romantic moments of like iconic couples of our times, iconic love stories.
Yes.
And we're seeing all of those. So we're seeing like Rue hyper romanticize her and Jules' relationship in her mind, when in reality she's actually like messing it up.
Yeah, and it goes back to what Sam Levinson said in one of those behind the scenes things. That was like, most of the characters are acting one way and then thinking another way. So Nate is thinking that he wants to marry Cassie and having this fantasy about marrying her, but then he's being a complete douchebag to her and choosing Maddie over her. Honestly, I was thinking about this today too. The only real motherfucker on this fucking show, Maddie. She is the only one whose mind matches her actions.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
If she's a straight up, like, everyone would kind of be the first to be like, yeah, she's a bitch. But she's a real one. Her actions reflect her thoughts. Maybe I could be wrong. We haven't had a huge in-depth Maddie episode this season, but thinking back to her episode last season and just how things have been going, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but
also, Maddie, what you doing with the tape then?
Right.
What you doing with Jules?
I really
Why are you
want
not
to
saying
know
something?
what's going. That is a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. I loved the lovers montage.
A lot of references to a lot of like art, movies, pop culture things.
Yeah.
In this episode, which was interesting.
I saw a TikTok and I should have written down who the person was, but they said, I think I sent it to you. And it was like, in all of those, Rue is dressed up as the character that dies. Which I was like, no, she's not. Because some of them, like I'm pretty sure one of them was John Lennon and Yoko Ono. And Jules was John Lennon. So he's the one who dies. But she was Jack in the Titanic one. She was the cowboy. Sorry, I am the L in the LGBT. I'm not the G, so I don't really know the names of the Brokeback Mountain Boys. But she's the one cowboy, Jake Gyllenhaal, who does pass. Spoiler alert. So
spoiler alert from like the fucking 90s.
I'm thinking that TikTok was saying that they think that Rue OD'd in this last episode, and that was like foreshadowing that she is dying.
Wow.
That she is the lover that is going to die, and it's going to be like this catastrophic thing for the other lover. But yes, Rue, what's going on? You are so in love with Jules, but you are faking an orgasm. First of all, rude, and if you do that, yikes.
I feel like maybe for the L's and the LGBT, that's rude. Before the straight community, I feel like if you're a woman, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more on the other person.
I'll just strike it from the record. I don't want anybody to feel bad. Plus, if you're in a dangerous situation, maybe you need to. I don't know. We don't have to address it. Like, if he's like, come or I'll kill you.
What the fuck? Why I
don't know, because I'm like, how am I going to get canceled for saying this now? You know? Because I'm like, if you fake orgasms, that's fucked up. But I mean, I have done it before. Let's just strike it. Okay.
Anywho, another note on Jules here. Jules, honey, you are choosing, I think, to be ignorant with Rue's drug use.
It's at this point.
There's no way she didn't know until Elliot told her. Like,
yeah.
The fuck?
Part of it was choosing what she wanted to see.
100%.
But, like, her mom, too, I think is maybe in that boat a little bit. But, like, Ali knows she's back on drugs. These girls that, like, aren't as close with her as Jules is know that she's fucked up. Like, she had to do that whole thing so Gia wouldn't know with the weed situation. So I agree. I'm like, babe,
you're dumb. Like, okay, that's me. You're not dumb, but I think you are just choosing to turn a blind eye to what you don't want to acknowledge, which is the fact that she's back on drugs.
Right. And I also think that, like, them going to get liquor and then being upset when she's drinking the White Claw, it's like, why would you get mad at her? Like, I get it, but why would you get mad at her? You put her in that situation. You invited her to come with you guys. You also know Elliot, like, smokes weed and does recreational drugs, and they hang out all the time.
Yeah.
And she's around him doing drugs, at least weed.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, bro.
If you know that your partner is a recovering addict, you just don't drink around them until they're like, hey, I'm in a good enough place. And if they come to you and are like, hey, you know, it's fine if you drink around me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm strong enough. You know that she is not.
Right.
Yeah, I was not too happy with Jules in this episode, especially then with her and Elliot. I'm like, you're literally cheating on Rue.
Yes, problematic, horrible, but I like it. I like the drama. I'm sorry. And no, I think her and good. They are dating in real life, her and Dominic Fike. I just found out. Yeah, Corinne told me. And I was like, oh my God. Their chemistry is
it's good.
I love it. And I think they're very sexy together.
Yeah.
And I know. I was like, oh, I hate this, but also I like it. I don't know. I like the drama.
I think I'm so, like, always on Rue's side about things that it's then when I see Jules and Elliot going behind her back, I feel like personally hurt for her. And I feel like it's my friend that I'm like, how dare you do this? Where I don't view like Jules or Elliot as like a friend that I would be like watching out for. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, dude, that 100% does. And I think you relate so much to Rue, so you feel like personally victimized by what Jules is doing. Totally understand that. But I think it was really smart of Sam Levinson to be pushing her likability this season, like he's been talking to you about, and taking that even further with her in this episode where she's making more questionable decisions. Yeah. She's being kind of rude to Jules and saying that she's annoying her and faking orgasms with her. So it's kind of, I think, an attempt to make the cheating that Jules is doing with Elliot, like, not have us completely turn our backs on Jules and hate her.
Agreed.
While, like, keeping both these characters dynamic. I love how none of the characters are black and white and, like, purely good or purely evil.
They're all
you can
very...
understand the actions that they take in certain moments, and in other moments, I'm like,
Yeah. Even could be a hot take, Nate Jacobs is not a black and white character either. He is not just evil, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He has a lot of depth, which I can't wait to discuss Cal's meltdown. But we'll get to that more towards the end.
Yeah.
Maddie Nate, Cassie Nate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I feel like Sydney Sweeney and Jacob Elordi do not have even a 10th of the chemistry as Nate and Maddie do together.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa Demi, I think, is Maddie's, that's the actress's name.
Mm-hmm.
They on screen, like when he went over to the babysitter's house and they're just like out and having that serious talk, so good. I'm captivated.
Yeah.
And then him and Maddie are on screen, and then him and Cassie are on screen together, and I'm like, I'm just not feeling it, babes. I'm just not feeling any chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah, and they're both so incredible in other moments. And
Yeah.
their scenes together are sometimes lackluster. I think the one scene that they had together when they were first hooking up and he was covering her mouth, that was really good.
Great.
But I agree with you. I think Nate and Maddie have a lot more like chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the moment when she was talking to him about love and saying, "Did you feel love for me?" and him saying, "I don't know, fucked."
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a low blow. I 100% agree that I think his acting is better in moments with Maddie and her
Agreed.
acting is better in moments without him in like
Yeah.
solo moments. I've heard some really interesting facts about her recently. Apparently she writes a novel about every character she plays.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
She's dope.
She went to college. She's like, has a degree because she wanted to be able to understand the contracts she signs.
Yeah,
And I'm
like a
that's
business
smart.
degree or something.
Yeah.
Girl, come on.
I love her. I love her, and I love Nate like, I like those two characters individually. It's just on screen, like, they just don't work as much. And I think then when you have the scenes with Nate and Maddie that are, like, so good, then when you have, like, Cassie on her own or with other people, or Nate on his own with other people, it's only more stark of, like, the difference. Although I did like their fight scene, but even then still, I was kind of like, this is missing something.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that yelling is an acting thing that I always say.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that scene, though. It's not bad. It's not like we're...
No.
Nothing about the show is bad, except for
Episode
season
2.
Episode 2.
Except for that. What the fuck? Where is Kat's camming?
Where is Kat, period?
I'm starting to believe that blind more and
Me
more that her and
too.
Sam Levinson had beef.
Yes.
Because where the fuck is Kat?
It's like it's becoming painfully obvious. Like, it's not like they're just leaving her out for some, like, unforeseen reason. Like, the whole tape thing with Maddie, I feel like there's a reason why that's not being addressed yet, and we haven't gotten, like, a big Maddie episode yet because they're saving it. But with Kat, it's like, this feels intentional, and, like, things are being erased. The moment with her and Maddie being like, you gotta do what you want to do because F everybody else. Did not like the use of the R word.
No! Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Don't.
We are so past that.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they... Because I think they used it once in the first season, too, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And then for them to use it twice in this episode?
Yeah. Like,
Let's
can
not.
we not... It's not cute. It's not funny. But yeah, I really liked their moment together, and I love their friendship, and I just want more.
Yeah.
Kat.
She doesn't feel like an ensemble character anymore.
No.
She feels like a mild supporting character.
Like, she feels like almost on Vape Girls level this season.
World star.
When she was like, Cassie puked on all of us. It's like you after last weekend.
Where are you? Yeah. Yeah. Your jacket, I was carrying it like this. I'm like, literally no one touched it. And then Allie texted me and she's like, tell Corinne to throw away Katie's tights.
Yeah.
Did you throw them away?
Yeah.
Smart.
And I think she threw away my sash too.
Yeah.
Well, Allie was trying to take my tights off in the bathroom, and I was like, I will freeze.
You were just going from the restaurant to the car, babes. You weren't gonna freeze.
And also the puke was then frozen onto my legs.
That is funny
I
as
know.
fuck.
But I was on my period and I didn't want to take them off.
Fair enough. Fair
scared.
enough. still rotted.
Yeah, no denying.
Okay, so Katie, we know that you don't like Cal here, but I freaking loved his scenes in this. His scenes were some of the highlights for me, especially when he went back to the bar, and I just felt so much like compassion for him when he walked in and he like had his head down on the stool and he's like, I haven't been here in 25 years. And I was just like, oh my God, he has not felt like happiness or freedom or any sense of belonging for 25 years. Like, I can't help, like, yeah, still a bad dude, but I can't help but feel bad for him. And I feel like that one line and scene we saw that he hasn't had those feelings since.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking. And then when he's dancing with the dude and he's imagining Derek and he's like, I thought I lost you, I almost started crying. I just felt so much, I feel for Cal. I do.
Yeah, I feel for him. I was convinced that he was going to
die?
or hit Rue, Jules, and Elliot when they were in their car. I felt that was also purposeful, I think, trying to build tension up in it. I was like, ooh, if they get in a car accident, then they're gonna know that Rue is on drugs because they're gonna like check her, and that would have been a really good way for them to like reveal that. And then Jules would have been like, Elliot, you knew about this, why didn't you tell me? And then there's like, but whatever, the way it went down is fine. There's a lot of secrets. We can get into that. I know we're talking about Cal. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's hard for me. I don't know why I have such a hard time with it. Eric Dane is amazing.
So good. Like, it was, again, like a comedic moment when he's driving with that head wrap.
Yeah.
Like, kind of funny, but also horrible.
And him trying to, like, fight these dudes that are, like, twice his size in the bar.
And then when he got kicked out, I just felt so bad for him because I do just think, like, out of all of these characters on the show, I do think that a lot of them have, like, an innate sadness about them. But I do think that he has had it and carried that weight for the longest.
Yeah.
And you obviously see how that has affected his family and his son, and then how that has affected other people. So, like, therapy is needed.
Yeah.
For so many people on this show.
Yeah. And his wife now, Marcia. Girl,
you just leave.
Yeah, I would be like, I'm gonna take my check and go.
Actually, I think he's leaving her, but get that money. There's no way you had a prenup. He didn't have any money when he was a teenager.
Also, him pissing on the floor and walking around with his dick out. Do you think that was Eric Dane's real dick?
No, 100% no.
Okay.
I bet it was a prosthetic.
But it's like, what's the point, because it looks like your dick, so it might as well just be your dick.
Yeah.
Like, people are gonna think it's your dick. Whatever, I don't... I just always think about that when people have their dick swinging around in this show. But anyways... Big dick swinging. Yeah, and him just roasting the fuck out of his family. But then I was surprised that he didn't bring up with Nate the Jules thing. He was like, and you're in love with somebody that I already fucked. Because he's like roasting his other son, like, your porn that you watch, ratch.
I loved that. I was like, so here for him airing out the family's issues. And again, like, he kind of roasted the wife too, of being like, you would be just fine if I went out and had sex with a stripper, but because I have sex with men, you would have an issue with it. And kind of like dug into her, which again, I'm like, not her fault. But also, I doubt, like, you two are not going to make each other happy, so like, go your separate ways. But then him roasting the shit out of his sons. Yeah. Really loved.
But he really could have like roasted Nate, because he could have been like, you are fucked up because you watch your dad have sex with others. But no, he didn't say that. And I feel like maybe that's more incriminating for him too. But I was just surprised that he didn't say something about Nate, because his life isn't that much of a secret. His dad knows his secrets. Yeah.
But he did tell him, and this was rough, that he told him that he was his biggest regret. That is fucking rough. Like, it really is no wonder why Nate is screwed up. Like, there's so many other reasons why he's screwed up, but then to have your parent tell you straight to your face that you're the biggest regret of their lives, that's gonna do some emotional damage.
Yeah, just a tad.
Where's the third son? True. Why'd he take the picture?
Setting something up.
And then I was trying to think, I'm like, could anyone in the cast be the third son that we've like met? But I couldn't think of a single person that it could logically have been. Yeah. Unless some people I saw online saying that it was Ashtray. Like, that's funny.
They could have been.
I would think Ashtray would be too young.
Yeah, he probably is.
But on the topic of Ashtray, are we going to have some issues with Mouse
Yeah.
being dead?
I don't know. That seemed... Again, I love Faye. Just chilling, watching movies. I love that the three of them are becoming like a little family. I don't know why. That's just like pure for me.
It
But
is.
yeah, and then this bitch ass motherfucker being like, Mouse's baby mama is coming around. It's like, ugh, of course. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. That whole situation, Rue with the fucking luggage full of drugs. Where is it going? I think, okay, first, before we get into Rue, could we talk quickly about Rue, Elliot, and Jules? I just want to say one more thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I really like the tension and the drama that is being set up and how Elliot, now, he's a new character in this season, but he's getting right into the conflict with two major characters where he is keeping secrets from both of them now because he is cheating with Jules and he is doing drugs with Rue.
Mm-hmm.
He's keeping that from both of them and he's kind of like in this middle web, and I just feel like he has this very laid back demeanor and he does want to be honest. I feel like he doesn't like lying to either of them or like what he's doing to either of them. So for him to come clean at the end of the episode, I was like, I like this choice, but I would have liked it to come out unintentionally. Sorry to circle back to that, but
no, that's
I was
okay.
thinking about that when we talked about the car scene.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's gonna tell Rue that he's been hooking up with Jules?
Yeah, I think he would, because I don't think he has a loyalty to Jules. I don't necessarily think he has a loyalty to Rue either. I think he's just kind of like, I aired it all out there to Jules, I'm going to air it all out there to Rue.
Do you think Rue and Jules are gonna break up?
I think now that Jules knows that she's on drugs, yes. But also, they're very codependent. I don't know, I feel like it's hard to say any, like, predictions for this season of, like, where you think things are going, because there's so many things it's like, like, the sun, the tape, the suitcase, we don't know where any of this is going.
Right. It's so artsy, too, and it's just, like, I appreciate the artistic, like, A24 aesthetic, but I'm also, like, I need answers. Stop. I love these scenes, but, like, where Cassie's dancing around in streamers and drinking champagne, love it, and while, like, that cutting back and forth between her and Cal drunk driving, like, love it. But again, it's like, if I had to sacrifice those scenes for, like, fucking answers that I've been wanting for 2 years now almost.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I would sacrifice it.
Yeah.
And that might be a non-filmmaker thing to say, but stand by it. Period.
We're frozen.
Cute.
Also, random thing. Another loose end. Another character. Where the fuck is McKay? And where is Gia again?
Yeah.
So, again, I would sacrifice some of those scenes too if we had some of these characters back in. Because I liked McKay. I loved Gia.
Yeah.
Love Kat.
Yeah.
The party.
Yeah.
Maddie's party. The hot tub scene was awkward in the best way.
Yes. I really liked the scene when she was bringing out the cake for Maddie and it's like slow motion and all of them posing for the pictures and just us kind of seeing that dramatic irony of Cassie's guilt playing out during Maddie's party. And she really does love Maddie. Like,
yeah.
And we want her to choose Maddie over Nate, obviously. But it's kind of just like how we want Rue to choose Jules over drugs. It's just like, it's never going to happen. The same way that Rue is addicted to drugs, Cassie is addicted to male validation. The love that she has for Maddie, it's like she wants both. Just like Rue wants both.
Yeah.
Bobby, you can have both.
Yeah.
And I don't think Sam Levinson is going to do that thing where he gives her both, because that's not really Maddie's way.
Yeah, I'm worried about seeing their friendship implode.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be sad about it. I mean, Maddie is a very good friend. She can be a shitty friend at times, but like the way she was helping Kat and everything, and I just feel like she would never do something like this to Cassie.
No, and if she did, she'd like tell her. I think she'd be like, hey, I'm fucking your ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Where Cassie, I think, is a little bit more afraid of confrontation than Maddie is.
Yep.
So she's not going to. Cassie, girl, it's hard to watch you spiral. It
Yeah.
really is.
Well, after the fight, I was like, bad bitch energy. Like, is this going to be her turning point for the character now? Because she was kind of like, okay, bye.
Yeah. And then
And
no.
He was like so manipulative too. Because it's like, you have stakes in this game too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But every time somebody threatens him, he has like this thing to hurl back at them.
Yeah.
And he's just like this master manipulator. And it's so annoying because it's like, you should be scared, bro. If she's going to tell Maddie that you are doing what you're doing when you're trying to get back together with her, ooh.
But I think Nate knows that he already has such a control on Maddie that it's like that he can maneuver through any situation. Like he literally choked her and she still took him back.
Yep.
So I think they could overcome this in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if we didn't think that Nate was already a psycho, we for sure do now after seeing him watch how his behavior is affecting Cassie when she has vomited all over everyone, is so drunk, and is getting dragged up the stairs, hysterically crying, and he is totally unaffected by it. But yet, like a scene or two earlier, he's like, I love you. Bitch!
Bye.
Where's the compassion?
Yeah, and in that moment too, when Maddie's being like, you say all this dumb shit, blah, 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 it's like, both of you leave this crackhead man.
Mm-hmm.
He is so not worth it. You can't just throw around the words, I love you. Manipulator. Gaslighter.
Nasty, wasty, crusty. Actually, he's not, but...
Yeah, he's actually so cute,
Yeah.
but...
actually would also be
there.
manipulated, but it's fine.
One cat just brought up again. She's like, you're low-key toxic.
Cat, I miss you.
I know. But yeah, I love that hot tub scene. It was great.
Yes. Anything else in regards to the party?
The mom was funny.
The mom's a vibe.
Lexi, funny. And also just kind of there.
I liked the scene where then we're watching like the play and her and Cassie fighting in real life. That was interesting. At first it took me a second to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I liked that. I really like that side character that's helping Lexi with the play, but she's like, thank you. Next.
I know her voice is very like distinct.
Yeah, love it.
Moving through the episode here, we come to my other favorite scene besides Cal's absolute roast of his family, which is the church scene.
Yeah.
With Rue. And the moment with her dad, once again, hitting me hard in this episode, getting me all emotional. And I love how when we're in Rue's POV, we're so immersed in this environment, in this fantasy that she's created. And then when they did the shot outside of her house, looking in through the window and she's dancing by herself, that almost pulled a tear from my eye because I'm like, she is literally alone and she's just constantly seeking comfort, but she always ends up alone.
Part of it is like she's pushing people away that want to be there for her. You know, like she's pushed Fez away, she's pushed Jules away, and like Elliot away in this moment when she's dancing with her dad / her dad's ghost.
Ghosty daddy.
And yeah, I don't know. I really liked what I'm assuming is like her funeral scene and them just saying like, or the song kind of being like, I'm so tired. It makes sense. Like, babe, I'm tired too. And I feel it. Yeah. I feel the heaviness of the world. The world's crashing down and your personal life is kind of going to shit. It's heavy, babe. And I feel like she's ODing. That's my prediction. I think she's overdosing again in this episode.
So you think we're going to catch up with her when she's like on the verge of death?
I think. I think Rue needs to go to the hospital at some point. I was really thinking that it was going to be in this episode they get in a car accident and she's drinking and doing these hard drugs at the same time. But there is no way that she snorted those drugs at Elliot's house, then was drinking, and then took more pills from the suitcase when she got home.
4 more.
4 more pills. It's bad.
Babes.
It's bad news bears. And I think that if COVID didn't happen, we would have caught up with Rue ODing, like at the start of this season. But I think they're going to have her OD now. That is just a prediction. Could be completely wrong, but it would be weird if she's just all good and fine this next episode. Like, you can't do that.
I'm intrigued.
And I loved Labyrinth. Just being there singing.
That was my next note.
Sorry.
Nope, no. You're just right. We're thinking of like his role in the show.
Yeah.
This show would not be what it was without the musical element that he has brought to it.
Very good take. Can I say something that I kind of just realized in this moment? So, throughout the first season, whenever Rue is tempted to do drugs, you hear the like, what, doing it all for like kind of faint. And then it all leads up to that final scene in season 1 where it's like the band marching and she's giving in and relapsing. So when you're talking about Labyrinth's role in this show, that's very interesting because his voice and that song in particular was kind of like the temptation to do drugs, in my opinion. That was just, you know, my take on it. But I think in this moment, you know, she's alone. She has no one. The drugs are her comfort and she's so tired and she's like giving into it again. Whereas the musical number in season 1, the last episode, she was kind of being like thrown around and very like dead weight almost. Whereas now in this one, she's giving in again, but like she's tired and she's just holding on to Labyrinth. Who I think is kind of like a godly figure. And then it's like her dad also too, because it's like spinning around Labyrinth and her, and then it's like cutting to her dad. And her dad is also the link to like her drug addiction. Like that's how it started. So it's all just very symbolic, and I feel like Labyrinth is kind of like comfort that she finds in drugs and like his voice and his singing. So I don't know. It's very interesting. But I noticed that when I went back and rewatched the first season in anticipation for the second season, every time she thinks about doing drugs or does drugs, you hear it, the faint like I'm botching that, but
no, but I think anyone who's listening knows what you're talking about. I guess how we jumped from that scene to then the next is when Cal's peeing in the hallway. Like, that's a transition. My last 2 notes kind of go together, and they're just about all the famous art references at the end, like the shots, like how Lexi's like girl with the pearl earring, and just like a lot of cool shots like that. And then also the one of like Jules with the rain outside looking like tears on her face. I really liked that. I liked all of those like artsy shots at the end. But again, I'm kind of like, if we could have had some answers to something, I'd take it. But again, like if we take out those things, then are we also losing the essence of the show? Yeah.
I feel like there's a way to do both. Provide us answers in an artsy way. Provide us answers within the aesthetic. Don't just all go towards the aesthetic. Like the cinematographer of this show is a very talented man, but it's like, how much of the reins are you giving to him? Like we still need plot and you're giving it to us, but it's almost like you're piling on to stuff you already have going. Like what about what we have going already?
I don't want this to turn into a situation where they have too many open-ended plot lines and not enough time to wrap things up.
Right. Speaking of that, Zendaya said we're halfway through.
I saw that. So 8 episodes. 8. Confirmed.
So you got 4 episodes to figure it out. And I'm sorry, but like wrap some shit up. Like, you gotta tie up some loose ends at the end of this season, because if you're gonna take however fucking long to make a 3rd season, like, who knows what's gonna happen. Plus, it takes forever to make this.
And also, I do wonder how long they can keep all of these actors on this show when you have Zendaya, who does literally everything. Jacob Elordi, who I feel like is kind of gearing up to maybe like do, especially now that he's out of Kissing Booth, like to go and do more. Sydney Sweeney is booked and busy.
Yeah.
So I feel like her as well. I don't know how long you're going to have like this cast unless you already have them contractually on for a certain number of seasons, which they very well could be and we just don't know about it. But I feel like this is a very like in demand cast.
I don't know. We'll see what happens next week, but I am anxious for things to start getting answered. I think if I could have one thing answered in next week's episode, I think I would want it to be Nate, Maddie, and Cassie episode. I think that situation needs to implode, and I want to find out about the tape. So I want it to be like a Maddie focused episode, and I want Maddie to find out about Cassie and Nate. That would be my wish, and Kat. I hope Kat is also part of that episode.
Yeah, I want to know about her camming. Who was the creepy dude?
You can't just cut that.
No, I feel like we're going to get a lot of that drug dealer lady, though. I remember seeing her. Wasn't she in the preview a lot for next week?
Yeah, I didn't watch the preview or the like behind the scenes for it.
I mean, a good episode.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. Again,
I want some stuff.
I'm gonna take what I can get, and it's not bad.
No.
It's very amazing, fun to watch. I love everything that I'm getting, but I just want more.
Agreed.
Bring back 20 episode seasons.
Honestly.
Like, I love the way television's going, but I also hate it a little bit.
I like the long seasons.
Yeah, I need long. But imagine them making 20 episodes of this. Like, I would love
It'd be
it,
a
but
lot.
it'd be very hard for them.
I feel like that'd be tricky, especially when they're so like stylized.
But you're gonna have this many characters and this many plots. It's like you almost need 20 episodes.
Or at least like 12.
Yeah.
You know?
Or at least 10.
Or at least 9.
Is that it?
I don't got anything else to say.
Cute!
Fuck Walgreens.